Stranger Things is done on Netflix, but online it's basically a new season. You've already seen the noise. 3 hours got cut, there was another ending, and the general vibe that the show didn't stick a perfect landing. Here are the facts. There really was an alternate ending on the table. Hi everyone, Lord of Leaks here. Now I'll walk you through what the Duffer Brothers have said and the exact spots where the finale deserves heat. Drop a proper, reasoned take in the comments and hit like to back the channel. Let's roll. The main thing is simple. The Duffers played it safe on stakes, especially the constant threat of death. Season 4's ending clears Season 5 by a mile. They had two doors: take the big swing and risk a masterpiece or a train wreck, or deliver a controlled, predictable, no-surprises wrap-up. They chose the safe door. And honestly, you can see why. The Game of Thrones fallout is still a warning sign for anyone who likes having a career. People still need paychecks. So they didn't gamble, and the audience score for the finale landed at 7.8. Not a disaster, but also not the 9.1 energy Season 4 had. Which is why Season 5 caught backlash. Sometimes it's overblown, but a lot of it is fair, so let's get specific. First, fans keep asking why the final battle suddenly runs out of demogorgons, demodogs, and basically every creature that used to turn up in seconds. The official excuse is that Vecna never expected a hit inside the Upside Down and didn't think anyone could reach him there. Sorry, no, that's not an excuse, that's a hole. For seasons, we were told these things move ridiculously fast, almost instant response speed. So what, they were busy doing nothing? Hanging out, grazing in the Upside Down, snacking on rocks? Second, the stone that infects Henry with the Mind Flayer gets a painfully thin explanation in the show, because the real backstory lives in the stage play The First Shadow. Quick version, Brenner's dying father talks about a failed military ship teleportation experiment. Ship vanishes, lands in another dimension, the Upside Down. He's the only one who returns, and Brenner grows up obsessed with repeating it. Then a Soviet spy steals the equipment and that stone. Later, Henry finds it in the exact scene the show gives us, gets pulled into the Upside Down, gets touched by the Mind Flayer, comes back with abilities. After that, Brenner basically puppeteers his life, right up to the Patty tragedy. Henry's family wants him gone, wants him handed over, and that's why he wipes him out like we saw in Season 4. And later he tries to save Patty during a school theater production, the same thread the series only half shows. Max's key memory moment ties into that play too. The issue is brutal though. If you didn't watch the play, the show leaves you confused. That's a bad choice. Even Rawlings' Accursed Child works cleaner. The play doesn't change the films, but here a separate play carries essential story weight. They couldn't spare one episode to explain it, but somehow had time to keep a massive Will monologue in the final edit. So yeah, that criticism lands. And it's not alone. There are tons of dropped or dangling threads, enough for another whole video. So here's the quick list. Max goes into a coma believing Hopper is dead, wakes up, and barely reacts to him being alive. Dr. Owens gets grabbed with huge dramatic emphasis in Season 4, and Season 5 doesn't even name drop him. Robert and Vicky get real screen time, then the breakup happens off-screen. Stuff like that stacks up. The Rainbow Project gets totally ignored. The show never tells us what happened to the pregnant women in the Upside Down, or whether anyone bothered to evacuate them. Just like it never explains why Vecna singled out Will in the first place, or what the whole Will is the key setup was even supposed to pay off. And of course, we can't forget the parents duct-taped in a shed, Drake's parents, and Mr. Wheeler, whose health becomes a complete non-topic for the entire 5th season. Same with Nancy Wheeler. She goes full John Rambo, openly shoots uniformed military on active duty, and then the story moves on like it never happened. No fallout, no inquiry, no consequences. Add a stack of other continuity slips and logic gaps, and it's hard to argue fans are complaining for no reason. For 4 seasons, the Duffers advanced the lore with a surgeon's precision. In Season 5, it feels like they hit panic mode and sprinted to the finish line, leaving their own planted story hooks hanging in midair. And yeah, let's not even touch the nonsense where demodogs can soak up machine gun fire but drop from Lucas kicking them. Instead, let's talk reshoot theory. It has ammo. In some scenes, even the color of the levers changes. Small detail, big red flag. With the amount of inconsistencies, a lot of viewers believe the finale was reworked, and reworked hard. One evidence point people cite is that Collider interview in fall 2025, where the Duffers promised every episode would run 80 to 90 minutes and feel like a full movie. Reality check? Only the final episode actually breaks the 80-minute mark. Another flag? Filming wrapped way back at the start of 2025. Then in August, the Duffers said the first 5 episodes were already edited, but the last batch was reportedly finished basically a week before release. That's a weird last-minute scramble for a show that supposedly had a comfortable year for post-production. And the cherry on top? Episode 5 credits a water stunt coordinator in an episode that has 0 water stunts. From here, it's mostly speculation. There's talk of a cut Will and Vecna storyline because a behind-the-scenes photo shows young Henry on set with Noah Schnapp, yet the finished season gives them no shared scene at all. There are also rumors that Mike and Eleven were supposed to travel to Kamatsats and meet Holly and Max. And more broadly, people swear there were lots of cut Mike scenes because in the final version, he's pushed down to third-line character status. But again, these are just rumors. Randy Havens, who plays Mr. Clark, flat out said there's no Snyder cut. Netflix also confirmed there's no director's cut of Season 5, and they aren't planning one. Believe it or not, drop your take in the comments and let me hit one more complaint that, in my opinion, gets thrown around unfairly. I'm talking about Eleven's open ending, because honestly, that part lands the way it should. The Duffers explained that Eleven represents the character's childhood, the magic of being young. Once everyone grows up, that magic can't stay in the story the same way, so Jane has to exit, but in a way that still leaves the audience something to chew on. And yes, there was another ending on the table. The Duffers admitted they drafted a version with an Eleven and Mike wedding and a full fairy tale happy ending, but they scrapped it because it didn't belong in the story. And on this point, I'm with them. The finale is already upbeat, and a wedding on top would have been pure sugar overload. The problem is, the Duffers are kind of selling us a fairy tale because an ending this open is clearly a fishing hook. Give it about 5 years, let the nostalgia build up, and boom, either a Season 6 conversation or at minimum a spin-off, which they've already teased. They're saying it'll be a brand new story, new city, new cast, new rules, new mythology. Cool, but it's still one shared universe, so we're absolutely going to get references, and we're probably going to get explanations for the exact loose ends people have been roasting Season 5 for. Translation into human language? They know they left a mess, and now they're trying to soothe the audience by pretending it was all part of the plan. Yes, a spin-off can technically fix things like the upside-down stone or where the Demigorgons went, but not because it was brilliantly seeded years ago, because there's nowhere else to run. And on top of that, the Duffers are already off at Paramount. They won't be running the spin-off day-to-day, just hovering as producers and consultants. My personal bet? The spin-off centers on Brenner's father and that early experiment. Stranger Things has always borrowed a little from real-world mythology. MKUltra is basically the skeleton behind the Gifted Kids program, so the next logical real-world anchor is the Philadelphia experiment. Same vibe, same fog. Official history says that on October 28, 1943, the USS Eldridge simply made a normal trip from Norfolk to Philadelphia. The legend says the Navy tried something else entirely, a teleportation test. In that era, everyone was obsessed with demagnetizing ships so radar couldn't see them as easily. The conspiracy version claims the US pushed the concept further, tested a jump, and in the show's logic, that's the accident that would have flung a vessel into the Mind Flayers dimension. As a spin-off engine, it's perfect, even if we can guess the end. But that's still just me connecting dots, and we'll probably get the real announcement later this year. And before we wrap, let's talk about what Stranger Things becomes in pop culture history. The safe finale, on one hand, saved it from the Game of Thrones curse, the show you want to rewatch, but then you remember the destination and you instantly lose the will. On the other hand, playing it this safe likely stops Stranger Things from living in that Harry Potter tier, where people run yearly marathons like a holiday tradition. To me, it lands in the middle, strong enough to keep a loyal fan base rewatching and chasing every spin-off, but not sharp enough to stay a world-level phenomenon forever. Seasons 1 and 4 are straight-up gold, textbook great TV, but the ending is too plain to fuel constant conversation and meme life 2 or 3 years from now. And still, I'm almost certain Hawkins isn't done. 5 years, maybe less, and it'll be back. Not necessarily as a clean Season 6. Netflix could keep it going with a feature film, Breaking Bad style. Either way, the finale is way too open to call it the definitive end. The cast will get nostalgic, the Duffers will have their Paramount era, and sooner or later, we'll watch one last ride. So tell me, what annoyed you most about this ending? Drop it in the comments and let's talk. And if you liked the video, I'd be grateful for a like and a sub. Those clicks matter, seriously. Thank you. New video tomorrow. Bye!